Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Rob.
And this is Ask Rob and Rob.
Hello everyone and welcome to Ask Rob and Rob, the show where you give us your wonderful property questions and we do our very best to give you a good answer. This week, that format hopefully will take place, but before we get there, let's just give you a quick reminder of how you can get yourself on this very show, or maybe even in the newspaper.
Yeah, so if you're feeling a bit old school, you can give us a call on 013 808 00035, or you can go to our website at propertyhub.net/ask. You can record a voicemail for us there, or if you want to leave us a written question for us to answer in the Sunday Times, then you can do that at the same place as well. So propertyhub.net/ask is the place to go. But when you send a question our way, there is only one rule. You have to leave us your name. If you don't do that, we'll make up one for you, which is what I'm about to do now for Neville.
Hi, Rob and Rob. Thank you for all the wise words that you put out for everyone. They've really helped me and other investors a lot. My question is about investing in London. Whilst I know your views on the London market at the moment, I feel as though the current yields on offer, which are often greater than 6%, are quite compelling. Also, price growth in London hasn't matched that of other large UK cities recently. So there's an argument to be made that London offers better value now than, say, 5 years ago. I'm keen to hear your thoughts on this, and thank you very much for all your help.
Neville, thank you for your question. It's a really interesting one, and it's something that I've been thinking about a lot and speaking to a few people about, because there is absolutely no doubt that you're right. London does offer better value than it did 5 years ago. But 5 years ago, it offered terrible value. So the question is it now back to being good value, or is it just less bad than it was? And that is not an easy question to answer. I'm inclined to think that it's not time for London yet. And my primary reason for that is looking at the ratio of prices in London to prices in the north. I put this chart together for an episode last year, and it's really quite amazing because obviously prices in London are always more expensive, but they go through phases of being relatively more and less expensive. And around 5 years ago, London prices were the most expensive relative to prices in the north than they'd ever been before. And now that's starting to come back a bit, but it's still historically very expensive. And that suggests to me, when you combine it with other factors, like the fact that increasing mortgage rates are weighing so heavily on London, the fact that affordability is so stretched, and many other things as well, just leads me to believe that in the years to come, there's going to be more growth potential outside London than within it. However, there is a lot to like about London. London is an absolute powerhouse. And if you buy a quality asset in London, it's always going to do well. London led the way out of the last crash. It bounced back so much more quickly because it's economically so strong. So I'd always be tempted by London. Now, you mentioned yields on offer of greater than 6%. If I was seeing yields on offer for quality assets at around that kind of level, I would be tempted. But that's personally not something that I've seen. And I've not been looking actively in London, so it may well be that there are things that I'm missing. But the emphasis there is on quality assets. So there will be some things you can buy in London that offer a yield of 6% or greater. But I would question whether it's the kind of quality asset that's going to be a strong performer for the long term and get you some good capital growth. But if I'm wrong, Neville, and that's what you're seeing, then let me know, because I'd definitely be tempted. But otherwise, London is not somewhere I'm looking yet, but it definitely will be in the years to come.
Well, London seems to be calling on this episode because we've got a question in from Charlie now, who also wants to ask us a question about the capital.
Hi, Rob and Rob. It's Charlie from Bedford. Thanks for all the content that you share with us. I find it really useful. I'm a big fan of the London market and would look to invest there, but don't think it's the right time at the moment. How can I still get exposure to the London market, but invest in another area which is performing well? Thanks a lot. I look forward to hearing your answer.
Thank you for your question, Charlie. Yes, we're big fans of London too. It's well documented, but we've also stated on the podcast that not quite yet, but we are keeping an eye on it. And we will update you on the podcast when our opinion changes. So how can you benefit from the capital city without investing in the capital city? Well, the key is commuter towns and cities. And I don't mean commuter towns and cities immediately outside of London. So if you're looking at like Hertfordshire or Surrey or places like that, that's not going to work. You need to go further afield. But you can still get to London in around an hour's time and go quite far away where you're investing in a completely different region, but you're still in commuter territory of London. So, for example, you can invest in parts of Birmingham, Coventry, Rugby, Northampton, Peterborough, and Leamington Spa, all in the Midlands, all benefiting from capital growth right now, have started the year well, in a completely different region to London, but all in around about an hour's time into London. So people will be commuting from those areas, and those areas will be benefiting by their fast train links into London, but the local property market there as well is also doing really well. So you get a bit of best of both. Clearly you're not investing in London, but what you are doing is investing in an area far, far, far cheaper than London, with better yields than London, but you can still commute into London. There are other areas as well. There's Ipswich, Southampton. There's actually lots of places you can look at. If you use a website we've referenced before on Hub Extra called commutermaps.co.uk, you can see these places, how long it takes, and it give you an idea of places that you may want to invest in that give you exactly what you're looking for. So good luck, Charlie. Time to do a bit of research, but some of the places I've listed there are very strong areas to invest in right now.
Well, there you go. 2 more questions answered. And if you've got a question of your own, it doesn't have to be about London, but send it our way. Go to propertyhub.net/ask. We'll be back to answer more of your questions next Tuesday. But before that, please do join us for the Property Podcast on Thursday. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.